Pushed it.
Is it recording? All right. So, today we've been talking about storms the last week or so, about hurricanes. Shy?
A lot of storms can do damage.
Right, we learned.
And make fires.
Right, we learned that they can destroy things, make fires, cause damage, hurt people. So today we're going to look at some non-fiction text about storms, okay? And we're going to specifically look at one of the storms that we've been experiencing here in Ohio, snowstorms. So I want you to turn to snowstorms. All right, boys and girls, we need to be quiet while we're working in group. You have independent work.
I know.
All right, so the other thing I've given you an organizer, a vocabulary quilt that we are going to, if you come across a vocabulary word that you are unfamiliar with in the reading, when I read to you and you're following along, you need to write that word down on the line, and then at the end of the text, at the end of the story, we're going to go back and see if we can use the text to help us figure out the meaning of the vocabulary word. So we're going to keep our word list on the organizer. Now, we may have to use another resource if we can't use it from the text. We may have to go to the dictionary. But last week we were working on some of the strategies when we read the book about Hurricane Andrew, about how when we're reading that we need to stop and think, and maybe sometimes we need to go back and we need to think about what we're reading. So as we read snowstorms, I would like for you to follow along with me, okay? And then we're going to stop throughout the text talking about snowstorms, okay? So we're going to put our fingers on the words. Yes? Yes, and some of the text talks about how tall the snow can get. That's a good fact, Shai. Right. That's a good I wonder. And you're questioning before we read. That's a good reading strategy. I wonder how tall the snow can get. That means you're thinking. Good.
I've been in a tornado.
You have. Ooh, that's scary, isn't it?
I've never been in one.
Okay.
My dad has.
All right. Put your fingers on the word. When water droplets freeze onto ice particles in a cloud, the particles get bigger and become ice crystals. As these fall through the cloud, they collide with other ice crystals and become snowflakes. As these fall through the cloud, they collide. What does that word collide mean?
They can probably like the same as the phone.
Correct. But do you know what collide means? Sticking together, coming together, like cars crashing. Good. Good. And your bikes collide? Good. Excellent. Once the snowflakes are large and heavy enough, they begin to fall out of the cloud. If they fall through warmer air, they melt and fall as rain. But if the air is cold, they fall as snow. Snow can soon start to cause problems on the ground. You okay, Austin? A snowfall of only 4 inches is enough to block roads. Now we know that, right? Because last week, who remembers, we had barely 4 inches of snow, and what happened? How did that affect us?
Maybe like to say if we were driving to school or walking or running, but they can easily slip on the ice on the road or ice on the snow.
Right, it could cause car crashes, or you could slip and fall. We got out of what?
We got out of
Well, we had an ice storm too, but we got out of school because of snow. Right. A severe snowstorm is called a blizzard. These occur when snowfall is accompanied by strong winds which whip up the snow into a swirling white mist and blow it into deep piles called snowdrifts. Poor visibility and near freezing temperatures make life very difficult in blizzard conditions. Eric, I need you to return to your seats, please. Do you know what the word visibility means? Poor visibility. If you don't know that word, put it on your word quilt, on your graphic organizer. Do you know what visibility means?
maybe like visibility is like you see it.
Visible, see it. So if it's poor visibility,
You can't see it.
you cannot see it. Good.
I talk like you don't really want to stand and see it, but I have it now. I was walking, I didn't see it because the ice was thick.
Good, good. So it said poor visibility and near freezing temperatures make life very difficult in blizzard conditions. Machines called snow plows and snow blowers are used to clear roads. And after severe snowstorms, but even they can find it difficult to clear deep snow from remote areas. Do you know what the word remote means? If you don't, write it down on your word list. Oh, you guys are great today. What does remote mean?
I think like it means say if I was trying to drive it and not get through because that big snow.
No?
I've heard it, I know what it is. It's just
All right, let's write that down on our word quilt. The word remote, because we're not coming up with that. Now let's go back and see if we can understand what that means. Remote. Sorry, if you're right there. Listen. It says, but even they can find it difficult to clear deep snow from remote areas.
Oh, now I know.
Now you know it? Areas. Remote areas.
It's like an area that has way too much snow and it's hard to get through.
Okay. It's a lot of snow in a remote area. Maybe there's not a lot of traffic there because of the road. Right. So let's write remote down. And Danny, would you go get the dictionary for us off the card? Boys and girls, you should be working on independent work and quiet while I'm working in reading groups.
I think that means like there's a lot of snow where you can't get through.
Right, a lot of snow where you can't get through it, and you said it, not a lot of traffic may be there. Maybe not a lot of buildings. Ethan, you need to stay focused, okay? We may have another like little exit quiz to see if you're listening. I know you are. I know. Whoa, you got the big one. All right. You got the big one. So let's look at remote. So I'm gonna,
Find it.
you're right, you gotta go to the R's. Remote. Let's look it up. L what? Remote. I'm going to read you the definition, and then I want you to draw the picture on our quilt. You don't have to write the definition right now, but I'd like located far from a specific place or some place regarded as far away. So when I think of a remote place, I think of it being very far out, away from the city, remote.
Well, like there's not that many people.
Who can think of when we use that word remote at our house? For a DVD player? Well, are you far away from the TV? That's why they call it a remote, because you're far away from the TV and you can push the button. It's the same thing for a remote area where they can't get the snow plows. It's far away from the city or far out in the country.
Like to say if you were like if you woke up because that like you couldn't out walk.
Right.
It happened to me on Monday when I was sick. I got really pukey. I stayed up really at night. And when I woke up, at the point when it was morning, the legs were all tingly and I couldn't even get off the couch.
So you use the remote to turn on the TV? Right. Good connection. Good connection. Okay, so you drew your picture of a remote area. Tell me about it, Danny. Can I hold this up? Oh, you're not finished. You can. If you can draw a DVD player, if that helps you remember the word remote.
I'll draw 2 pictures. Cut this one.
Okay.
First, I'll draw
That's all right. Whatever helps you connect and help you remember what the word remote means. While you're drawing, I'm going to read you the last part that talks about living in a remote area. It says people who live in these remote places can be snowed in for days or even weeks. Even in large cities, daily life can be disrupted by heavy snowfall. Oh, you guys are doing great. Yes, big snow and you can't get through it because it's a remote area. Can I see yours? All right, good.
See, this truck make you pass the big snow.
All right, let me see yours, Danny. I like your remote area. So explain this. So here's remote.
Then there's the house, which is really far away, and then it's snowed in, and then there's the city, which I was going to draw a little truck.
Okay, so this is the city, and then the little house way out in the country in the remote area. And then, can I show yours, Shy, real quick? And Shy did the DVD player with the remote control.
And plus the snow. There's more snow coming, but the truck.
Okay, thank you, Dan. Okay, good. All right. Remember at the beginning
Of the year.
No, not at the year. Of today at the group, we talked about Well, right, but you said how tall could the snow get? Did you know, good Ethan, did you know the most snow, do you want me to show yours before I start?